This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
The Kingdom of East Anglia saw the birth of their greatest son, an Anglo-Saxon warrior destined to be a champion for the ages and a national treasure for all time.
Pal Rob. Today we are in Texas. I don't know what part of Texas, but we're also at the BGG Con. But we decided to take a side trip to come to Reaper Miniatures to check out how their manufacturing process works. So we're going to get a full tour of everything, and well, we'll show you what's up for sure. So why don't we go inside and check it out?
My name is Amanda.
Maybe next year.
Hello. And I am quality control. It's my job to find fault.
Yay.
What I do is they bring out the raw metal that has just been cast. Sometimes it's even still warm, and I have to be careful because it's still hot. As you can see, it melts the bins as well. So the bins come out. I took them out, and what I'm looking for is shiny. Shiny is bad. Shiny means that the metal there's something wrong with the situation with the metal. Part of it could be shift, where the mold shifts laterally, or it could be a situation where the mold is old and still kind of it's becomes inflexible, and the metal seeps out like a gap, seeps out between points and sometimes just out. Not that. Hold on, Mom, I'll talk to you later. So that's what I look for. Also, I look for shiny bits on fingertips and bottom edges, because that means when the metal goes in and it comes back to fill out, sometimes it doesn't reach its full potential. The metal comes out in a sort of light matte finish. And you guys want to come around this way? You can peek over the edge.
They're not paying any attention to you.
They're not paying any attention. Okay, so I tip out the bin, and I'll tell you a secret. All of these are bad. I look for things like hard flash. This is flash. It means it's seeped out of the pocket. And this is a booger. None of us like to deal with this particular piece, even though it's really awesome. So this is flash. It's hard flash. If it's soft flash, and I can just kind of take my pseudo thumbnail, use this because I'm wearing gloves. If I can push it or manipulate it, then you guys can deal with it. But I know you don't want to deal with this. I mean, really, golly, that's tough. So it dies. Also, I look for soft spots, and this particular piece is notorious for soft spots. I really think that this particular figure should be made in two parts, legs and body. So we have the shininess here, where when the metal went in and it came back and it went into the leg, there wasn't enough to fill up that cavity. So shiny, it dies. And when they die a fiery death, and they are able to resurrect, much
Be
like
reborn.
the phoenix rises from the ashes. And literally it sometimes comes out as a phoenix, and it dies again because the toes don't fill out. So this is shift, and it's shiny on one side, and you turn it over and it's shiny on the other. I've got better examples over here. So this guy is just awful flash. Flash, flash, flash. This bit shouldn't be there. And there's shiny little bits that leaked out. Yes, it is. He's a booger. So he dies. I also look for things like, figures that don't fill out. This guy's walking around with half of his hand and no hand there. He dies. I also make sure that we don't send out figures that are doing rude gestures. Not nice. So he dies. Sometimes when the molds get old, they break apart, and that's called tear out. And this is a particular example of tear out where I can actually see the rubber bit that broke off the mold. So this black thing right here, you can see it also on this side. Next time the caster pours metal into that, after that's already torn out, it's going to be a big old ugly chunk of metal. So I put that over here for remakes. But all the rest have that same sort of thing. Die. Let's see, I've got some fun ones here. When I'm looking at new release, and this is a recent new release. When I'm looking at a new release, stop it! When I'm looking at a new release, I look for the bottom edges. The bottom edges are really important because, the metal goes in and it comes back. So this particular piece passes and this one doesn't. And the reason it doesn't is because of this corner right here. That's what kills it. So that one goes over here, dies. Older figures, we have baggies that have information on them. I don't have any right handy, but says watch for this, and it's in the bin, and it reminds the casters and me what we're looking at. So these two have problems, but they're different problems. So if I cover this one up, I know that this one's wrong because it should look like this, right? Yeah. And when I cover this one up, I know that this one's wrong because it doesn't fill out here. So there's a variety of problems that can happen, and I try to keep track of them. And basically I start out with a bin full, and I look closely at 10, 20 or so, and then when I see that there's not really a whole lot of problems, then I'll go a little bit faster. But what I look at first is shiny. If the figures are shiny, I set them aside. If it comes to the end and I need 20 and I've got 19, I'll go through those and see if there's one that anybody else would pass. And I'll put it in there. This particular piece is kind of fun because he's levitating. He's kind of levitating. And his shoes should look like cowboy boots, with the thick soles and points. But it looks like he's wearing deer farm slippers. Not all that interesting for a levitating fellow. This particular piece, we make the mold over and over and over again because we give the artists free reign. You make it beautiful, we'll make the molds, we'll make it happen. If it's a sculpt that's not exactly perfect, it looks dandy, but it's not something that is something we can consistently do, then we'll just make more molds. It's that simple. And this is one of those cases where this guy's really fancy. Well, he's not all that fancy. He's a wizard. And so he looks really intricate and looks really cool, and everybody likes him. He's very, very, very popular.
Yeah, I think I've painted him like three times. Yeah.
But this guy sits, the mold line is over the top of his head and over his arm and that way. But this edge right here basically cuts into the mold. And at some point after the fourth or fifth or sixth spin, the hood, inside the hood tears out. And while this guy looks like he's had a traumatic brain injury, and that's really cool, it's really cool for a wizard, if we send it out, we're bound and determined to get it back because that person didn't want a wizard with a traumatic brain injury. So, but didn't have the nice crisp edges. So this hem is rolled and it should be crisp like this. And I knew that because I saw one like this. woo! And her points are filling out better, and she's got fingertips, and this is really cool.
It's a little opera.
But I knew that this one was not perfect because I saw this one. And you might want to get a close-up because this is cool, this is nice, but on this one you can see the ruffled edges and the exquisite detail. And I know you guys, when you paint, you use the dry brush method. That's how you pick up all the details. So that one was a reward for me because, you know, I finally got them to do what I told them to do. This one is my favorite because he's in a dynamic pose and he's got flames and he's got beautiful details. He's got edges over here and, well, this one has a shiny face and the dynamic pose is impeded because the points aren't there. There's no point here. Actually, the reliquary is missing. This is what it should look like. So if you compare them, and I was a great one when I was a kid, one of these things is not like the other. You know, find the mistakes. So the reliquary is there. The points there. The points are on the back. Beautiful details of the feathers here and the armor and the nuts and bolts and knuckles and everything. It's there. And so I go, woo-hoo, I made a difference.
Yeah.
It's my little reward.
So this is the internet department. This is where all the internet orders get fulfilled. So this used to be the front door to the whole building. We knocked it out and re-cemented the parking lot. And then we extended the building out. So you can see the outside of the old building right here. So all those offices used to have natural sunlight, but now they don't. You can see the old windows. But if you ever order anything online, this is where it comes through. So all these orders come through here. So it's basically like a big store. You can see all the walls are filled with product. We have all the Christmas stuff ready to go. You can see it right here. Leaks. There's 4 new ones that haven't been showed off yet. Let's see if I can find them actually. I don't know if they're over here. Leaks. Yeah, there's these 4. These 4 are due for the 12 days of Christmas. Yeah. Christmas past, present, and yet to come. And then Cat Dragon 2019. So it's a little dragon, a little cat dragon, jumping on the Christmas tree. He's trying to get the star at the top of the Christmas tree and it's bending. So, and then all the other ones are kind of old with the pack reindeer and all that stuff. All the Christmas movies.
Very cool.
Oh, there's Cat Dragon. I took a picture of this.
So this is the paint department. When we built on the building for internet, we needed more space for paint as well. Since everything was getting bigger and growing, we needed more space. So this machine's name is Audrey, and it's named after the Little Shop of Horrors plant. It's because the operator stands here and they feed it nipples and bottles and caps all day through these little chutes and receptacles. That's Anne. She's the one who makes all the paints, mixes it all, names it all. She's the scientist, the alchemist. But these lights blink, saying like, "Oh, feed me more."
Call myself an alchemist.
Yeah. They blink green, yellow, and red, so it determines you need more, all that stuff. So this machine is the only machine of its kind. It's the only one that exists in the world like it. We had it custom made just for us by a company called Trenchworks up in Utah. And so they spent months and months, and we R&D'd it and came up with what we wanted. So the only thing that this doesn't do is label. It does everything else. She's about to get sent off for Audrey 2, Audrey 2.0, and she's going to be able to do everything and label. So she's going to be able to do everything. This is our most automated machine that we have in the building.
Audrey.
Yeah, well, she'll come back better.
Is she gonna be voice controlled?
No, that'd be cool. Feed me. Oh man, maybe we can ask to have them put voice lines in it. That'd be funny. So this is a light curtain. So if the machine is on and I put my hand in here, it'll shut off. Or if anything flies in here, like a bird or something, it'll shut the machine off. All the things are waterproof. It's because we work next to the sink, and the paint is water-based. So if it spills, we can just clean it up. A lot of the parts are 3D printed, like the chutes and these things, so if anything breaks, we can just print them off here and then replace them. We use kidney dialysis machines on the outside of the machine there. There's 2 of them. We use kidney dialysis machines to pump the paint. Since the paint is water-based, it acts a lot like blood, so we can
Handy
just pump
if you
them.
ever need kidney dialysis.
Yeah. Matt upstairs does kidney dialysis every Monday and Wednesday.
Here.
But not here. We use silicone hoses. Since they're non-stick, they're
You're
metal.
gonna have to wait, Matt. We got a big order.
And
But
so
I
you see
need
them-
it!
You can see them over here. Everybody's at lunch, so these are capped off, but these will go inside this bucket here. This is the manual machine. Tiamat is what we call it. It has 6 heads instead of 5. So we pump 6 bottles at a time and slide them down. and we put the nipples and cap on manually, but we don't screw them. This machine does that for us. So if I go over here, the bottle will be put in here like this, and it screws down and it catches the cap and screws it on for us. There's a little rubber insert in here that just barely grabs the cap. So it's designed to where if I just press this thing, it'll go down just enough to screw it, and then I have to let go. And then once I start again, it'll go again. So you can do bottles really fast.
Can I touch it?
Yeah.
With your finger.
This machine doubled our output on how much paint we could pump it down. Pickle wheels and the mixing wells. This is where everything gets mixed. Trash did. You've probably seen him in chat. It's Trasharama on Twitch.
I know who he is.
Yeah.
I'm on the Patreon.
Oh. This is where all the mixing gets done.
Grind
Yeah. Well, these can
Grinding
rotate
hay.
and then pump, and then these shake. So it'll grab it'll grab these, and it'll shake them all. So, yeah. There's a Dragon Turtle, Bobby Yaga's Hut, The Rock, Cobra, Dagon. There's tons of stuff in here. All the Mouselings, Sophie's, Pathfinder cases right here. There's a lot of stories in here. I could talk for another hour. The top is modeled after the Golden Gate Bridge. So if there's kids running around in here or something like that and somebody bumps into this, it's not going to fall over because they're all connected on top.
Should that be on the ground?
No, it should not. This actually should be over here. It's a little hand sickle.
Oh, there's your Proctor thing.
Yeah, that's the Bobby Yaga's Hut.
Man, that the Wednesday show.
Yeah. Proctor?
Yeah, when he was show
That's just superb.
We take all of these to ReaperCon, all these terrain pieces like the bridge, and so when people paint their models at ReaperCon, they can take pictures of their stuff in different settings. Very cool.
Wow.
We have a continuous storyline during ReaperCon every year. So when you come to ReaperCon, you choose a faction that you want to sign up for, and you get that faction's mini, ribbon, and points, and all that stuff. And so all the factions are competing together against each other. And at the end, we announce who wins. So 2 years ago, we did this. This was Merkalor's brother, who was like the old king. So this was 3D printed. This is sculpted out of PVC. So we cut this and we painted it all the chains and stuff were added. But this is his brother's skull, and whoever found this got to make a wish. So whatever faction won got to sign their name in the Necronomicon at ReaperCon. And then this year, everybody was fighting Merkalor, which is that ghost thing that I showed you on my desk. And this is his phylactery. And this was 3D printed and painted by Daryl upstairs. So it was painted with color shift paints. So as it shifts, you can see the colors change between purple to blue. And this is his phylactery. So this is what all the factions were fighting for to kill Merkalor. It's very cool. And so we always have
All right. There we go.
Yeah, I thank you so much for your time today, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Away from your
We
work.
appreciate it
Don't worry.
more than you'll ever know.
This is really amazing.
All right, well, we'll send it up top and get on out of here. There you have it, our complete tour of Reaper Miniatures. What a fantastic time we had. We got a whole bunch of goodies that they gave us, which was really, really cool. And of course, I bought a couple of things for Frostgrave because we're going to be doing that real soon. I want to thank Tina and everybody inside from Reaper for taking the time to show us this fantastic plant. What a wonderful time we had. And until next time.
The end of the game, and you could get this from Miniature Market, right, Grandpa?
You can get this from Miniature Market. That's right.
Yeah, everything you need. Bye.